So we finally got some snow, and I know the roads are going to be pretty tough to drive in, slippery, really icy, but you know, if you ever get into an accident, just give me a shout out. We can get you an estimate done quickly, get your car fixed back properly and safely. But in the meantime, I'm already out of breath from shoveling this, but good thing we got a skid steer, so this should be easy work. So I got this area here pretty tight, a little bit of wave to it, nothing to block and some primer can sort. And then right in through here, a little more wavy, low spot here. I'm gonna throw a dolly there, tap down the high spot here and try and bring that out and pull that down. That'll work. I bet I could block that and just paint it. But I think I'm gonna still put some primer on there. Got a little bit of a dent right here and the paint's chipped off and paint's cracked right there and cracked right there from the accident. Still gotta refinish the whole bedside. See a little bit of a high right here. It sounded more than there and right there. Very, very subtle. Probably block it out with this. And if you get to a point where you start seeing a little bit of a high, I wouldn't be afraid to tap it down to make it a little bit lower, flatten it out, and then continue blocking. I think I changed mine. I'm going to put a skim coat of some putty, not filler, but actual glazing putty. It's a really thin coat, just so I don't have to solely rely on the primer. If I was to prime it, I'd go pretty heavy coats. So I'm trying to avoid the heavy primer, just do a light coat just to smooth out the waviness. Here's the putty that we're using, Spotlight by Evercoat. Fun fact, you can use this by itself, you can add to the Z-grip. If you mix the two, you essentially make a premium body filler because this stuff goes down super smooth. I should have made a video when I'm putting filler on. So I load up my spreader, spread it on, but I'll scrape it. What I'm trying to do is scrape that filler, the putty, into the scratches, make a tack coat, and then I apply my filler to make it even and smooth like that as best as I can. Filler on, sanded. You can see it's just barely in, fading in and out nicely. A little bit of that low wavy area. The high spots are going to be due to the panel being made. Just feathers out nicely, hardly any filler on there. 32nd of an inch maybe. I would recommend using some sort of filler instead of building up the primer. It's designed to do this. Primer is more for leveling, not for filling. And then next up, I'm going to handle the paint back in there, all cracked out. I'm going to feather this back a little bit more, get some of these 120 grit scratches out better. And I'll feather it back even more. I'll prime that area, but I want to have 320 all the way around here, so if any overspray gets there, at least has something to stick to. Always aim for, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches or so away from the repair area, how far you want to sand back 320, then mask it. Primed, there's the repair, and I noticed there was a dent up there, so I blocked it, put some primer on it. Little freebie, but we're good to go. Put the heat lamp on it, probably prep it even this afternoon. And just like that, our repair is in the booth, and we're going to spray this afternoon and get it done. This is why I love, finally, I have an actual black sealer. Look at that. I mean, you can see the where the repair was. but you don't see the gray primer underneath. So once I get my color on, I blend it, I send it, I can almost guarantee I'll be able to do one coat coverage with my base coat. All because I have an actual true black sealer finally. And another thing about this, it's DTM, so direct to metal. They say the flash time is about 10 minutes. And I've noticed you're probably looking more about 6 or 7 on a medium wet, maybe 10 minutes if it was cold. But I find every time I spray my sealer, by the time I go into the mixing room, I mix up my paint, I'm ready to go. Check that out, one coat coverage, Matrix Edge. Silky, silky smooth. Yeah, look at that. Get a good idea of what my repair right here looks like. I'd say once we put the clear on it, it's gonna look like $1,000,000.